Alright, just a real quick note before I get started here. You'll notice that there's no updated graphic from the V1 yet. And the main reason for that is because I'm still waiting on a reply from a potential artist that I will commission if he replies to me on Fiverr in a timely manner. I suspect the delay is due to the stuff around the coronavirus right now, would be my best guess. But I don't know, maybe he's just busy. But I do expect that in the V3, and I'm fully aware that I don't have that updated logo graphic in the V2. So just that before we get started. Okay, so just that now that that's out of the way, let's do this. What's up, everybody? It's Christian, and today I'm going to be presenting the updated, this is the V2 version of the PrintHub evidence-based pitch deck. And today we're going to be talking a bit more about what PrintHub can do. So we've got our company logo, or our slogan here, simplifying office hardware management, and that's the main objective today of PrintHub. So let's get into it. I think it's stuck. Oh, okay. I might have to just do it with the mouse. Okay. So what issue is PrintHub trying to address here? So in smaller offices uh, around the globe, really, but mainly here and wherever hardware is applied, you have peripheral devices such as printers and multifunction centers and scanners. These are seemingly commonplace, and I'm sure everyone's used them many times, and moreover, more people have probably experienced problems. But from an IT personnel or a system admin perspective, what happens when one breaks down? What do we need to do here? How can we manage all of these problems in a timely manner that a printer may produce? And also, what happens when we have a machine that goes down? I mean, you need people that have to print reports, or maybe they're doing something for a presentation, or maybe your engineer needs to print out the a graph of how one of his models is presenting for some sort of meeting he has. IT departments, in order to fix these things, need to take time out of their schedule, which puts other people's more important needs potentially on hold while they fix the printers. So how can we solve this issue? So fear not, network administrators and IT personnel, for there is a solution. Introducing PrintHub, your centralized hub for maintaining and remotely controlling office peripherals from manufacturers of all sorts. PrintHub has the ability to seamlessly and add all compatible machines on a network to its registry, which allows users to easily view the status of their connected network devices. And this shows how PrintHub would work on a network. So it's being controlled from one central machine. Ideally, this would be like where your system admin or your IT manager, or whoever on the IT team handles it from their machine, and then from here they can remotely push out updates and maintain the other aspects, which I'll also get into right now. So features. So some of the main features that I want to do here is I want to be able to view toner levels. As far as replacements go, this is the number one thing that most people would probably have to do, because toner does go out. Maybe not quite as often in office hardware as opposed to home use, but it still happens. They can also monitor the life percentage of various printer components. So there's a bunch of moving parts in printers. As you can see, I specified the drum and fuser, but there's more. There's the rollers, there's the corona wire, there's the some of them have like a tray in there. There's all sorts of things. Some of them have multiple drums. So these all operate on like life percentages, and being able to view all that from one place seems to be the best approach here. So another thing you can do is you can download and install updates for drivers and various firmware patches. This is just to keep these machines up and running with every latest build of Windows. And then interface support for printers of all makes, including Brother, HP, Dell, and more. Initially, these three here that you see will be the ones that we have at launch. Competitive advantage. So there actually are a few competitors, big ones too, so that PrintHub would potentially be competing against. This first one here is Mark Vision. Enterprise, so it's just a Lexmark solution. So it can do a few of these things. You can remotely view levels of toner, you can remotely monitor the life, but you can't install updates and other firmware patches for all makes and models like you can with PrintHub. And then similarly here, Xerox, another big printer name, they have one called CenterWeb. You can view the levels of toner, but as far as these other features go, you can't really do any of them with non-Xerox products. So this is really more of a first-party solution. And then PrintHub can do all three of these things. So all remotely, all makes and models, and all from one centralized tool. The business model. So PrintHub is going to be free to download. With the download being available from the website, it can be used with the activation of a license key. So this is where we will monetize the actual part of PrintHub. So the licenses are annual and they're $29.99 plus tax, and they include some of these features, well, all of these and more. So routine updates, software patches, expansion, technical support, obviously, if you're running into problems. How does PrintHub work? So it's very, very simple. All you need to do is download, input your license key, and then once that's done, you just connect it to the network, initiate the network search, and what it'll do is it'll scan your network that it's connected to, and it's just going to identify all the devices that it sees as printers or scanners. It adds them to a directory, and then once it's in a directory, then you can use the tool itself to hover over and like view the toner or the parts life, or then push out the updates from there. And then for every new printer or scanner you add, you just initiate another network scan, and it'll just do that and add the new one in. It's pretty straightforward. So here's our projected timeline. This is very much subject to change. Basically, the whole thing would be, if we're going strictly off this, would be out by this year. By the, well, the very end, have a working prototype, which is possible. So May 2020. Of course, this is barring any coronavirus stuff that may happen. So these could get pushed back. So begin design and prototyping. So it's just like logic, the programming logic behind it, its look and feel, just to get a rough idea of how it would work and how it'll interact with different machines. August, pre-alpha, so that's just a more refined version of the prototype, something that we can push out for testing on several networks and run it with different machines. October would see us actually pushing out the alpha, and then that period would go carry us all the way to sometime in December of this year, where we'll begin seeding beta builds based on feedback we receive from the alpha builds. And then lastly, of course, the team, once again, is just myself. This is also subject to change. It's possible we could add more people. I'd actually very much like to do this so we can get this going a lot faster. And that's all I've got for you today. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you again with the V3.